Tommy, this is a fully formed idea. You got a whole prototype.
Yeah, well, you know, I got thinking about it, and I wanted to make something that was really nice.
Really nice. That thing is beautiful.
Yeah, it's made of mahogany, so it's almost like a piece of furniture.
Yeah.
I have an inset panel right here out of individual boards that we ripped down. And the legs were made out of a 4x4, but I ripped them to a 3x3, and I tapered them down slightly.
Okay. And it's a chest too, right? I mean, that was the idea, that you were going to furniture, but really, holy mackerel, look at that. A copper pan.
Copper pan. I could have used galvanized, but you know, that might rust over time.
Yeah.
And I want it to look nice. And it's all insulated on the bottom, the sides, and underneath this copper, but below the panel is insulation.
I am on board. Let's build this beautiful thing.
All right, because this one is so heavy, I'm going to build the other ones out of cedar.
Yeah, okay. So you learned from the prototype.
Yeah, so let's get the cedar and we can start cutting. We're going to start with the legs. I took an 8-foot 4x4 and I ripped it down 3 1/8 to 3 1/8. I'm going to cut it to rough length. I'm going to run it through the planer to bring it down to its true 3x3 dimension. For the rest of the pieces that will make up the base of the cooler, I will use some 1x10 cedar boards and some pieces of MDO that will be ripped down to the right dimension. So if we open up the box, you can see there's the front and the two sides and the back. And you look down, it looks like it's very thick, but I've glued a piece on there. The reason is because we have to basically hide the insulation that's on the sides. So it's going to be built in layers. First of all, the sides are 1x10, okay? And if we take a piece of this, this will simulate the bottom.
And this is, what is this, MDO?
This is MDO, and this is actually some scrap that I had left over from a job, which is perfect. And we're going to take another piece of MDO and put it on the side. That will really stiffen them up, and it'll give me plenty of strength for screws when we need them.
Is that why you're adding the MDO for strength?
Yeah, MDO. Because the cedar is so soft.
Right?
Yeah.
It's expensive too.
Oh, yeah. So
what's
now
your thought here?
We're going to glue this on the top, right here, flush with the face. This will make the side and the front look like they're thicker, but it's really going to be a place to hide the insulation so you're not looking down.
Copper pan's going to actually sit here, so it'll actually be wrapped with the insulation.
All right, so now we're ready to fasten the top to the sides, and we're going to use a mortise and a floating tenon to do that with some glue.
Because this is going to be a long side, short side out of this big piece.
Exactly. To secure the MDO to the inside of the frame, I will use some wood glue and some fasteners just to tack it till the glue dries. So now what we're going to do here is we're going to mount the end and the front to our legs. This is the leg, and I want the top part of the end right here to be flush on the inside, but I want to have a little reveal on the front.
Right there. And how do you want to attach side to leg?
Well, we're actually going to attach mortise and tenon joints here, and we're going to use some heavy-duty ones because I got to think about the weight here for safety reasons. People are going to sit on it, plus all the liquid and the ice and everything that could be in the cooler. It could be pretty heavy. That on there. Go ahead. Yeah, oh, look at that. Nice. Pull that right in nice. And we'll also put some screws in it. We'll repeat this process for all 4 sides. All right, we'll line this with some polyisocyanate foam. Good. This is MDO plywood, medium density overlay, great for exterior. Nothing in the middle because I want the pan to have a natural sag from the weight. It'll bring everything to the drain. See if that copper pan's gonna fit. Okay, now I'll get the pan. A friend of mine builds these pans. Does some beautiful copper work. Ready? Good there. Now pick yours end up just a little bit. I gotta get it. There it is. Oh yeah, nice fit.
That is nice and satisfying.
All right, so now we're ready to make the top for our cedar cabinet. And if you look, that the top is made of 1.5 inch thickness around the perimeter.
Just the perimeter.
Just the perimeter. Okay, now that's because we have to insulate the top.
Oh, I got you. So there's going to be a cavity beneath this copper.
Right. So these boards that are on the top, they're individual boards that are glued up, but they're only about 5/8 of an inch thick.
Okay, so thicker here, thinner here,
Right.
room for insulation.
That's right. On the cedar cabinet, we've actually glued up the boards, and these are all glued with floating tenons, and it's 3/4 of an inch, and it's really lightweight cedar to go with the cedar on the other cabinet.
And then the perimeter 2x stock right there. You got mitered corners. That's nice.
Right. Well, the thing is this is going to be outside, and it's going to move a lot with the weathers, and I don't want those miters to open up. So what we have is a half-lap mitered joint. So if you look right here, you can see the end grain. Well, that piece runs all the way through, and the end grain down here.
All right.
So what we're going to do is we'll half-lap the joint on the bottom, and then miter this one, and this one will sit on top. Because we're using the miter saw to make the majority of the cuts anyways, I can also use the miter saw to make my half-lap joints with a series of cuts close to one another. Then I can make my miter cuts. All right, we have our 4 pieces cut for the perimeter and 1 piece cut for the center as a divider. We'll put a floating tenon in the center partition there. All right, just pull that together. I think we'll line it up and we'll get a clamp on it. And you have all that glue surface for this miter, makes a big difference. So now we're going to use a stainless steel screw. I'm going to run a bead of sealant right around the perimeter. All right, with our panels and our insulation in place, we've marked center lines so we can now install our copper underneath, and we're going to fasten that with the stainless steel screws because we don't want to get any kind of a galvanic reaction. All right, we have a strip of wood right here that's going to go on the back of the cabinet. We've mounted a piano hinge for that. All right, now to stop the air from moving and basically let the ice last a little bit longer, we're going to put a piece of weather stripping around the perimeter.
Oh yeah, it's a good thing we made it out of cedar.
Yeah, this is a lot lighter than the other one. Okay, there it is. So we'll try the top.
Oh yeah.
Works good. Now you could put some kind of a cable or a chain here to stop it from going too far because you don't want it to, it'll stay there, but really should have a cable so it doesn't pull the screws out. Well, or you can put the gas struts on like we have on the other one.
Very nice, okay. And I tell you, I like the square legs.
Yeah.
And I love the cedar, not just because it's lighter, but it's a good look too.
Great for outdoors. And if you want to, you can put the wheels on, if you have it on a deck to roll it around, whatever you want to do.
This is going to be a huge hit, Tommy. Filled with ice and sodas and beer. It's like a man's hope chest. Thanks for watching. This Old House has got a video for just about every home improvement project, so be sure to check out the others. And if you like what you see, click on the subscribe button to make sure that you get our newest videos right in your feed.